Welcome everybody to this Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition casting game by your favorite host, Unstoppable Stiletsy. So, we're back again with another Angel of Death versus Aaliyah match. We just came back from a nice series of 2 deathmatch games of Russia versus China. Now, instead of Russia versus China, it will be French frog legs versus French fries. And French dressing, of course, so... yeah, a lot of French here. Before we get started this Frenchy froggy croissant game, let's see how the geography affects the gameplay. So for this map, biggest thing you're going to notice is this big body of water. You can't build on it, you can't walk in it, so players are going to have to avoid it unless you want to put some boats in there. You can cross through this area, through the river area, through this crossing. You can, of course, walk along the trade route 2 up in the north here. That's another option. And from the look, yep, you can also come through this area too. So it's really up to the players on what's comfortable travel-wise for them. You're definitely going to see a lot of walling on both sides, probably along this front, and probably definitely around here too. Though the trade route does make it a little bit more complicated. So let's see who's Frenchier than the other one, and let's see who is the best French of all. And by best French, I mean which one resigns first, because that's what France does. So let's get started. Alright, so yep, we got Frenchie over here, and we get Frenchie over here. In general, I feel like, well, obviously roster-wise, they're going to be exactly the same, Cuirassiers, generally all the European units bundled into one. So yeah, lots of stuff to do. Now, this is kind of interesting. We see the Aaliyah France actually queuing up native scouts to pressure the enemy with, which we don't see the Red French doing. They sent the Minutemen out, but not the native scouts. So this is kind of an added twist, it looks like. Now, both players constructing lots of houses, lots of production buildings. Again, the church for the mercantilism technology to get those nice 5 free shipments going. For this France, they're actually going to be getting Royal Fencing School, which is this fencing school with some free Royal Musketeers add-on, Wilderness Warfare, Riding School, Cavalry Combat. So a lot of stats and a lot of training. They also shipped in about 10 Courier de Bois as well to get the economy jump-started. We can already see a lot of barracks producing those Frenchy Voltigouires from there. We also see stables. We see a foundry already active, ready to make some artillery. As for the other Frenchy side, they're lagging. So it's actually lagging. Should make things a bit tricky. So this Frenchy is actually going for thoroughbreds to make the cavalry cheaper, as well as the training cards. Also, they sent the factories out too already. This Frenchie does not have their factories out yet, so definitely a different set of cards already being chosen between the two Frenchies. Yep, there comes that second factory now. Are they going to put it on the front lines and get heavy cannons out? Totally possible, it looks like. Now, one thing we do see now is this blue France is going for artillery, while the red Frenchie is going for dragoons to kill their artillery with. Now, honestly, in this situation, I feel like the Frenchie with the artillery is probably going to be a little bit better. Well, never mind. The SARs are in place. The SARs are going to mess things up a lot because, they're super tanky against skirms and artillery, and they do a lot of damage to them with their sabers. Yeah, that's going to mess things up a bit. There's still a good number of the dragoons left, so the skirms are going to have to focus fire those down and let the Borsari to do their work on the skirmers. Now, the whole point of making Borsari is blasting through their skirmishers before they blast through yours. So you can get a sort of an edge on both territorial gain as well as reserve resources that you're not spending if you're hopefully, losing unit supply less than your opponent is. Now we see Griffith DL system sent out, so these horse artillery are going to become a little bit stronger now as well as the other French cannons. Whereas the other France here, they made their own culverins to try to blast their artillery. Oh, they're all gone now. So yeah, that factory is now destroyed. Look at this bold fort from the Blue French. They're already sticking it in the red territory just about. You can see the outpost right here. And they already feel confident about sticking the fort right there. That should tell you that they got some pretty nasty, gnarly plans coming up. Definitely. Now we see cuirassiers adding the mix. These are the special French cavi that do splash damage. Very harsh unit to deal with. And how are they acquiring those? Are they getting... Oh, so they're actually going to get them through the home city, the infinite shipments. This is really good because not only is this a strong unit with a lot of value, but this France is not even paying down any resources to keep those going. So yeah, they're going to be doing pretty good here in resource conservation if they can constantly ship in those cuirassiers to deal with the French infantry. Also, we see the Quizzlebash from the Sufi settlements coming in as well. These Quizzlebash, you know, they got a pretty mediocre range attack, but what they do strong is melee. You see, they got that glaive on their back that is really good for fighting infantry. It's got anti-infantry multipliers in that, so yeah, about 60 damage at the current level. That's a lot of damage. You know, it's really as much damage as an Imperial Hussar does to infantry standardly, yeah. So that's pretty good damage output overall. Now, resource-wise, Blue France. Got some food, got some coin, a lot of wood. Now, the Red France has a lot more wood, but they have less food and coin going, so I'm not too sure what they're planning here. They're going to try, yeah, it looks like they're trying to maneuver the culverins in this direction to maybe reach and connect with the blue artillery, but I can't tell right now if they can do that. Now, one thing they are doing to conserve a bit out of desperation is training of pikemen, which is not doing too well, you know, the cuirassiers with their splash attack, hopefully roasting through that. Oh no, petards. Petards, this looks like a fatal attraction. Yep, town center's down. Lost villager queue, lost defense of the village. Is another town center going to be... Oh, unfortunately that petard hit. GG, yeah, he's not even going to try it at this point. I mean, look at the mass of the cuirassiers already on the field here. We're already talking about like 8 of them. Another batch could be shipped in as well, so yeah. That was a very unfortunate situation for Red France. You know, the tides turned pretty quickly, and the Blue French were able to use their early artillery with good mastery, and were able to take advantage real quick. And then you could see, I remember seeing that second fort wagon coming as well as this was being constructed, and it looks like it was actually put right here, granting the Blue French this entire little specket of this peninsula of land here that they could use to constantly throw into the Red French. So yeah, Red France was not in good shape, and I feel like the petards were the finishing blow there. So yeah, definitely be careful of those petards. They can definitely change up the game in some really nasty ways for you. If you're on the receiving side, of course, if you're the one delivering them, you're going to get some pretty good gains, and if you can take out a town center or a factory of 4 with those. So resource-wise, neck and neck. Yeah, just about neck and neck. Interestingly, Blue France didn't even gather any food. Yeah, they didn't even gather any food at all here, it looks like. You know, it looks like they just focused on coin for the cannons. So yeah, see a little bit of food production for Red France though, so maybe that's why Red France wasn't doing too well in defending, because they weren't investing back into the hunting, but they were, of course, you know, constantly queuing up couriers that, you know, digs into your food. In terms of military, yeah, this is the area that Blue France won in. Their artillery management, the employment of Quetzalbash, Sufi natives, as well as the cuirassier shipments. They were able to gain a statistical edge on the battlefield and produce something that the Red French couldn't counter with dragoons or the weak pikemen, basically. Now, if they went with halbs instead of pikes, maybe they could have done something, but at that point, way too late. You know, resources were already dipped. I hope you enjoyed these Angel of Death versus Celia Games. You know, these deathmatch 1v1s are pretty interesting. If you didn't check out the China versus Russia ones I just did, check those ones out too. Those were pretty good. You know, they should definitely be releasing with this one I just did. So yeah, check out every casting game I do because they're all pretty good, you know. I try to do a variety of things. People always send me stuff. If you got your own casting games to do, send them my way. You know, I would happily do yours. So I'm leaving off from this one. See you in the next casting game we do. Signing off now.